morning students. Today is our lecture 9 and we are going to begin with experimental methods to determine the order of reaction. So the first method is graphical method. In this method is used when there is only one reactant or reacting species is going to take part in chemical reaction. So by any suitable methods, molarity, molality, normality, etc., by any suitable methods we are going to use to determine the concentration of the reactants. So the first step is to determine the concentration. Second step, we are going to plot the graph between concentration and time. So for the reactants, the nature of graph will be like that. Next step will be to find out the instantaneous rate of the reaction. So how do we find out the instantaneous rate? By finding out the slope of the tangents. So on the basis of the slope of the tangents, we find the instantaneous rate. Next step will be that we plot a graph between rate and concentration. So when you plot a graph between instantaneous rate and the concentration of the reactant, if the nature of graph is like this, independent, that means rate is not dependent upon the concentration, then the reaction will be in which order? Zero order, since rate is independent of the concentration. If you plot a graph between rate and concentration to the power 1 and you get a straight line, then the reaction will be in which order? First order. If you plot a graph rate versus concentration square and you get a straight line, reaction is in second order. Likewise, if a to the power 3 cube of a and you get a straight line, that means the reaction is in third order. A to the power half and straight line, reaction will be in half order. So in general, what we can say that rate to the concentration, rate versus concentration to the power n, and you get a straight line, then the reaction will be in nth order, where n represents the power. So if it is half, half order, 3 by 2, 3 by 2, third order, second order, and so on. So this is very important, and the condition is that only one reactants. First of all, by any suitable means or methods, we are going to determine the concentration versus time graph, then instantaneous rate by finding out the slope of the tangents, and then rate versus concentration. So this is what we do in case of graphical method. Now the next method is initial rate method. This is very important, and almost every year one numerical based on initial rate method is asked in CBSE board examination, my dear students. And it's so very simple and easy to calculate. You just see. Suppose if I say that a reaction in which A and B combines to form the products. Suppose 2 moles of A, 2 moles of B, and they combine together to form the products. And you are given with the data. So the next method is initial rate method, and in this method what happens, on the basis of experimental observations, we are going to determine the order of reaction. So suppose the initial concentration of A and B both 0.01, 0.01 and rate molarity per second 0.005. When you change the concentration of A from 0.01 to 0.02, by keeping the concentration of B constant, rate increases by how many times? You can see 0.005 to 0.0205 to 20. So rate increases by 4 times. So can I say that rate is directly proportional to square of concentration? What is our aim? Our aim is to determine the order of reaction. So let us consider a to the power a and b to the power b, and this small a and b we are going to find out. So when you change the concentration of a from 1 to 2 by keeping the concentration of b constant, rate increases by 4 times. So therefore with respect to a, rate will be equal to k into a square. So with respect to a, order of the reaction will be 2, second order. And when you change the concentration of B by keeping the concentration of A constant, now you can see that when concentration of B is tripled from 1 to 3, rate also increases by how many times? 3 times. So in this case, can I say that rate is equal to, or rate is directly proportional to the concentration of B? Because the way you are going to change the concentration of B, same way the rate is also going to be changed. So with respect to B, reaction is in which order? First order. So the overall order of the reaction with respect to A it is 2, with respect to B it is 1, and the overall order of the reaction will be third order. So it is very simple and easy to determine the order of reaction. And in this case, either you would be asked to find out the rate constant K. So when you know the concentration of A and B, by substituting one of the rates, you can calculate the value of rate constant K. Or K is known and concentrations are known. At one of the places there is a blank. So you are need to fill up this blank on the basis of the other values and data given. So this type of question is also very important to determine the order of reaction on the basis of initial rate method. So the next method is integration method, and we have to study the derivations for zero order and first order reactions. So for zero order, suppose a reactant A is being converted to products. So rate is equal to K into A to the power 0, since the reaction is in zero order. So K naught is the rate constant for zero order reaction, T is the time period, A naught is the initial concentration, and A is the concentration at time T. So A is equal to minus K naught T plus A naught, and you can see the reaction is in the straight line form, y is equal to mx plus c. So when you plot a graph between concentration of A and time period T, you get a straight line where the slope is minus K naught. This is the expression for zero order reaction, and likewise we can derive and calculate for first order reaction as well. So let's see, for first order reaction, as usual A is converted to product. So in this case, rate is equal to K into A to the power 1, since the reaction is in first order. After deriving, we get the expression that K is equal to 2.303 by T log A naught by A. K, as usual, rate constant for first order. 2.303 is the constant. As you all know, ln x is equal to 2.303 log x. The base of this log is 10 and the base of ln is E. So log concentration A at T tends to 0 initial time to the concentration at time T. So in this case, this is the expression for first order kinetics. All first order reaction will proceed through this expression, and we can also write it as K is equal to 2.303 by T log A by A minus x, where A is the initial concentration and this is the concentration at time T. So from first order kinetics, K is equal to 2.303 by T log A naught by A. A naught is the initial concentration, A is the concentration at time T. Can we write Kt by 2.303 is equal to log A naught by A? Then Kt by 2.303 is equal to log A naught minus log A. As you all know that in case of logarithm, when it is division, then we subtract it. So log A naught minus log A, and if you take log A this side, then this is minus Kt by 2.303 plus log A naught. So once again y is equal to mx plus c. So if you take log A on y-axis and time period on x-axis, once again we get a straight line where slope is minus k by 2.303 and the intercept is log A naught. So our next method to determine the order of reaction is half-life period, which is designated as T by 2 or T half or T 50%. So what is half-life period? It is the time during which concentration of the reactant is reduced to half of its initial concentration. In other way, you can also define it that it is the time during which half of the reaction gets completed. So as you all know, just now we have derived that for first order kinetics, the expression is, we can write T is equal to 2.303 by K log A divided by A minus X or log A naught by A. At T half, this A minus X, will it be equal to A by 2 or not? Then T half will be equal to 2.303 by K log A by A by 2, so that it becomes log 2, 2.303 by K log 2. And the value of log 2 is 0.3010. So after substituting, then T half is equal to 2.303 into 0.3010 divided by K, or T half is equal to 0.693 by K. This is very important, my dear students. And for first order kinetics, T half is equal to 0.693 by K, and for first order kinetics, T half is independent of the initial concentration. So if you plot a graph for T half versus initial concentration, that is A or A naught, then what is going to happen? It is independent of the initial concentration. This derivation is also very important, that using first order kinetics, prove that T half is independent of the initial concentration, or derive an expression for half-life period by using first order kinetics. And finally, one more method is there, that is Ostwald's isolation method. Okay, so experimentally, to derive the order of reaction, we have one more, Ostwald's isolation method. In this case, what happens, that suppose a reaction in which the reactants, they combine to form the products. Somehow it is similar to initial rate method. How do we determine the order in this case? You can see the small a, b and c, they represent the number of moles, stoichiometric coefficients. So what we do in this case is that concentration of all the reactants are taken in excess except one. So one is being isolated, and the one which is isolated, order with respect to that is determined. Then after determining the order with respect to A, we are going to determine with respect to B. Then these two would be in excess, and finally B and A will be in excess and C would be isolated. Therefore, it is known as Ostwald's isolation method. So, after proceeding through these steps, the rate is equal to K into A into B into C, and the power of A is suppose P, power of B is Q, and the power of C is R. And the sum of P plus Q plus R, what is this? They are the order of reaction. So my dear students, there are 5 methods to determine the order of reaction experimentally. What did we discuss today? The first was graphical method. Second was initial rate method. Third was integration method. Fourth was half-life period. And finally, Ostwald's isolation method. So based on these methods, whatever questions are given in text as well as exercise of NCERT, kindly complete that all of you, so that you will have a confidence over it whether you are able to do those questions based on these experimental methods or not. And next class, dependence of rate on temperature, effect of catalyst, Arrhenius equation, collision theory. These are the topics with which we are going to continue. Thank you very much.